Wait, they were like, what?
And I was like, boss, please.
Hey, bosses. Welcome back to another episode of Boss Please. I'm Megan here with Jillian. Hey, girl.
Hello.
So I feel like a boss. I know you feel like a boss. And how are you boss this week?
Okay, so this is going to be a little different. I don't think I've ever sort of talked about being this type of boss, but I was a boss this week because I was a really supportive partner. Okay. I think that's pretty boss because, you know, most people sort of have that selfish mind, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we're just constantly thinking of how can we better ourselves? And even if you have a partner, you know, I know a lot of people that really do still look out for themselves. You know, they care about other people, but they look out for themselves. So my partner was given an amazing opportunity this week. Two really great things happened. Can't talk about those things because the contracts aren't signed yet. So when the ink's dry, I'll share.
I love it.
But I really had to be a supportive partner because one of those opportunities is actually taking him out of state. And it could be for a couple of months. So I think, you know, the old Jill or the, you know, Jill from 3 or 4 years ago would have been super panicked and really unsure about what's going to happen. And my insecurity would show much more. I've grown. I'm 30 now. You know, my reaction this time was like, hell yeah. Like, I'm so excited for you. So I'm going to visit this weekend and we should do things this weekend. And, you know, really trying to make things work and just being that support system that he needed in that moment of just me reassuring him that, like, we're good. You know, this is a great opportunity for you. Focus on this. And, like, you don't have to worry about us. We're great. We'll always be great.
Oh,
so,
girl. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, it's going to be really great. Not to say that it won't suck because
of course you're going to miss him.
Yeah, because he won't be here, you know, for an extended period of time, but it's only going to make things better in the long run.
Of course.
Yeah. How are you a boss?
I'm a boss because of you, actually.
Oh, so shit.
I called a boy because I was nervous. You know, it's very new. I mean, we just went on one date and he's a little bit older, and I wasn't really sure how to contact him because he's called me a couple of times, and you know, in this day and age where I'm used to texting, and Jill was just like, you know what, Megan, when you get back from your travels, you should just give him a call. And girl, I was so nervous. I was hoping that he didn't answer the phone just so I could leave a voicemail, and that's exactly what happened. I left a voicemail. My voice was so high pitched. I was like, "Hi, it's Megan." I was so embarrassed. And then I was nervous because I didn't really hear from him, but he ended up calling me the next morning, and it was really nice. So thank you for the push. I needed it.
I feel like, and this is just a complete sidebar because it's just happening in my life so frequently that I feel like I need to share. I have many single friends. You just happen to be one of them. You are all in the same place. Everyone is texting me being like, I don't want to reach out. I'm hesitant. I'm like, hey, get what you want. Like, go get what you want. I mean, what are you waiting for? Like, I don't think when I was dating, I was never concerned about being the aggressor because I have tunnel vision about anything I want. So whether that was somebody that wanted the attention or didn't want the attention, I have always been that way. So yes, maybe I do come on a little strong, but you know what? I found a partner that loves it. You know, and it's like, I just feel like if you're in a situation where you're feeling unsure about reaching out or you think that you're going to seem too needy, it's just like, cut the games and get what you want. Because at the end of the day, you're going to only beat yourself up if you don't hear from that person. And it's on you. Your feelings, it's on you. Yeah. It's not on them. You know, like some people, and I was telling Megan, you know, some guys really like it when women are the ones that, you know, reach out and take the initiative. And then you sort of have to decide, you know, is this the type of person that I want, that I have to take the initiative?
I mean, I wish he would reach out a little bit more, but again, it's so new that I can't be there yet. Like maybe down the road, but right now it's cool. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Totally.
But on that note, maybe I'm really taking this far with this question, but do you believe in soulmates? I've always been so curious about what people think of that.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't believe in soulmates in love, but I do believe in soulmates in friendship.
Oh. Are we soulmates?
I think that we are.
Okay.
It's a difficult thing to sort of dissect because we're sort of taught you know, you have this person that is perfect for you. And your soulmate is end game. And when you find your soulmate, I feel like we have multiple soulmates in life.
I can agree with that.
I think that there could be soulmates in friendship. There could be soulmates in love, although I don't believe in it. I just feel like there are people that get you. And whether we label that as soulmate or not, that's just how I feel. You know, there are just some people that you sit down with and you know after 5 minutes of talking with them that they just get you and you get them. And that's really all that matters. So I don't know.
True.
I joke with my boyfriend about it just because I think it's so silly. Like, you know, we're sort of inching closer to marriage and, you know, we're like, oh, what would you say in your vows? And I just like can't even imagine being like, you're my soulmate. I just feel like you're the person for me.
Okay.
You know, why does it have to be a soulmate thing? I feel like our souls are connected, but I also feel like I'm connected to so many other people because I meet and vibe with everyone.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. I guess I am kind of a hopeless romantic, and I think I've grown up thinking that you do have a soulmate, but I also think that is the stem of a lot of my problems and my dating issues because I have such an expectation as to what it's supposed to feel like and what it's supposed to be like. So I think now that I've been doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of work with talking to different love coaches and experts because of another job that I have, I've learned that it is a soul thing, but I agree with you, and I think that it's a vibration. I think you give off a certain vibration and you attract those people. So exactly what you're saying, Jill, friendships, your partner. So as long as they're on an equal vibration, an equal soul level as you, then I think that is your soulmate. So I'm kind of transitioning my vision of having that one person in all of this world to, as long as they meet my soul and, like you were saying, get me, and we're vibing, then to me that is my soulmate. So I just have to meet someone, because I've been dating so many people that are not on my wavelength. I'm like, I don't even know how we started this date, because I don't know how I attracted you. Maybe my vibe was lower, but now my vibe is high. So they got to get to my vibration level.
And it is true about multiple soulmates, because how many people do we see that lose their partners?
That's true.
And they find another person that is sort of their twin flame.
Yes.
You know, like it's just, I think multiple people you can vibe with and they're out there, and you know, whether that's like romantic or friendship, I think that they're all very valuable in your life.
Side note, I do have to say, Jill, hope to God this poor guy that I'm talking about doesn't listen. I don't think he does. We're not there yet. We don't follow each other on social media. But I used the tarot cards that you gave me for, was it Christmas?
Yeah.
I got them out this was, I think, before we even had our first date. I got them out and I just sort of like, I was like, is this too much? Is this too much?
Yeah.
Okay. I got them out and I was sort of like, okay, like universe, like what is this? I was really like focusing in on him. And I was like, I have this feeling, like, do I ask him out? Whatever. I picked out the true love card and I'm like, shut up, universe. You're joking with me. So I put the card back in. I was like, all right, think a little harder, Meghan. So I shuffle. Jill, I kid you not. I shuffled that thing. I pulled the same damn card. I pulled the true love card.
So was it in your past, your present, or your future?
I was doing it differently.
Oh, you were just doing
I
one.
was focusing on a question and I pulled. That's what I've been doing.
Okay.
I wasn't, you can do the past, present, and the future, but I was just pulling like the one in the moment card.
Gotcha.
I made up my own rules.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of love, all of our questions will be answered because we have love expert, love coach, and matchmaker, Kim Seltzer, that will be calling in right after the break.
Just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
I love that. We'll see you in a minute.
So excited to have Kim on the phone. With a vast knowledge and experience as a therapist, certified style confidence coach, dating coach, and matchmaker, Kim Seltzer has helped thousands of people find lasting love and connection, attract success, and build valuable relationships using unique confidence makeover process. Using an outside-in approach, Kim has changed lives by changing their style, emotional and social intelligence, using her signature formula, the charisma quotient. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Kim is a regular contributor to the Huffington Post and digitalromance.com with appearances in Cosmopolitan, Redbook, Reader's Digest, Ask Men, Fox News Magazine, Yahoo Shine, and the Washington Examiner, amongst a myriad of other publications. Welcome, Kim. That's such a great bio.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I always laugh when I hear my bio being played back to me. It's it's kind of strange because I mean, and we'll get into this, but I really got my passion doing what I do is because of my own dorky story. And, that's really why I'm so passionate about helping other people. But I've been blessed with a lot of experiences to reach all these different people, helping them with their confidence, including your podcast. So thanks for having me on.
Oh, no, we're so thrilled. Thank you so much. So I love that you were a therapist and then the journey sort of transitioned into becoming a confidence coach and expert. So how did it transition from therapy into this?
Yeah, it's funny because when I was a therapist back in Chicago, I practiced for over 10 years. And in the traditional sense, and I feel like I helped a lot of people. I was a young therapist right out of grad school and went right into it. I kind of laugh now thinking back. I'm like, God, I didn't know anything. Because I'm an old lady compared to you gals. And
oh my gosh, no, you're not, Kim.
Seriously, but
no.
Life has happened. So I have learned a lot along this yellow brick road. And what happened to me, and that's why I was telling you about why I'm so passionate about doing what I do, is when I picked up and I moved from Chicago to La La Land, I joked that I got a divorce like all the other people here, obviously, total issues going on in this marriage. But I realized, two things happened actually, because it's interesting you asked about how I transitioned from a therapist. One was, at the time, when I was in this dark period after my divorce, I couldn't get out of bed. It was awful. And I had these two young kids. I had these black clothes that reflected my mood, my mindset, and how stuck I was. And I couldn't get out of my own way. And here's the thing, I was thinking of myself as a therapist and how beneficial talking is and having that support system. And ladies, I have to tell you, I had a great support system. I did all the work, as they say, but I still couldn't get out of my own way. And so what happened to me is I took a hard look in the mirror and was horrified at this girl in front of me. So I ended up, because I was sick of my clothes. I looked awful. And I was like, there's no way I can attract a man or a new career for that matter. And I was just kind of over the talking, to be honest. I was really over the talking. So I just put myself into action and I went shopping. And this is where it all happened. And I go shopping, and Megan, I think you heard this story before, but
that's okay. I love it. Tell it again.
And all the other listeners. So I go shopping, and this personal shopper comes up to me. She's watching me because, lo and behold, I'm picking all the black clothes again, and they were 3 sizes too big. And she's like, ma'am, I've been watching you, and I really think this dress would be amazing on you. And it was this red dress that looked like 3 sizes too small. I said, that's really sweet of you, but that's not my size, and that is not my color. And she said, honey, it is your size, and it is your color. Try it on. And I don't know what possessed me. It was like somebody needed to hit me over the head with that dress. I took it, I slipped it on, and then I looked in the mirror again, a hard look, and I was shocked at what I saw. I realized in that moment I had lost myself, and I couldn't see myself until I saw myself in that red dress, and I realized, wow, there's this symbiotic relationship between the outer and the inner that really does help people with their confidence. Because when I bought that dress and I went out in the world, my confidence started growing, and again, people started noticing me, but I also got more comfortable with people noticing me. And so that's kind of how, my business was born. And so what I do now is helping people with their confidence by putting them into action. Yes, I use my therapy background, obviously. It's really important understanding where people come from and their history and all that. But then it's you get to the point of the now what? How do I push past some of this stuff or the blind spots that I have and create new patterns and change? And so whether it's going out and styling people, which definitely helps with your confidence, or teaching them how to flirt and navigate the dating battleground, if you will, and, working on body language and first impressions, and then, or just putting together a dating plan and helping them with their social confidence. I kind of, those are the real secret ingredients in helping people.
So is the confidence makeover something that's completely customized to the person, or do you have certain things that you have to hit along the way?
That's a really good question. Well, it's kind of both, to be honest, because on one hand, I know there's just elements that work for everybody. But for me, because I'm a therapist by training, I really take a look at each individual and get almost like a personalized plan for them, because like what would work for you, Jillian, might not work for Meghan.
Sure.
And so I first want to understand what is tripping people up, like what is not helping them progress in their dating life or their confidence socially, or just even showing up as the best version of themselves. I'll give you an example, and then I can go into maybe like the fundamental elements. There's this woman, she hired me for dating advice, right? And so she's like, I'm pretty good with my style. And by the way, like, I don't touch people's style if I think that they're confident with that, so then it's just the other work. But what was interesting is she was from San Francisco. She comes and she shows up, and she had good clothes, but the clothes was not serving her. She had a bunch of like beige clothes. It was like oversized. And when she showed up, she had this like huge shawl on. She was like this black thing. She was like wrapped up in literally her love shield, I called it. Right? And so I said, honey, I can help you, and I will help you, and we'll go and we'll flirt, and I'm going to put together a dating plan, all that, but we have got to go shopping. And she's like, what's wrong with my clothes? Like, these are expensive clothes, and I feel pretty good. I said, I get that, but you're not dressing to attract a man. You're actually dressing to hide. And it just kind of dawned on her. Like, she had no, like, awareness of that.
Wow.
So, like, with her, I had to start with her image. And let me tell you, I created a monster. And it started with red lipstick. It started with, I told her, I said, before we go shopping, I want you to take this red lipstick and wear it for a week and just let's see what happens. And she came back to me and she's like, Kim, that magic red bullet. Oh my God. I'm like, why? What happened? And she said, well, I did what you said, and I went out into the world, and like all these guys started talking to me out of nowhere, and because of that, she started talking to them. It's like the red dress. I mean, obviously I'm using red because it is an attractive color, but it just signified something for her that she needed to do, and that was like be seen and be heard and finding her voice. And she'd been hiding in so many ways. So in answer to your question, yeah, it's really unique, but I find that when you look at my secret ingredients of the charisma quotient, that's what it's like a puzzle, kind of putting every piece together to see what people need and what holes are missing and all of that. And so, like, starting with your style intelligence, raising that, meaning your wardrobe, your body language, how you present. Then I look at your emotional intelligence. How do you manage and express your feelings? How do you let people into your life? And that vulnerability and authenticity is so crucial when it comes to connection, whether it's love or business. And the third area is social intelligence, meaning how we interact with the world. It's flirting. It's, how we give those signals to each other. And I feel like, when you look at those three areas after I do my assessment, then I know how to help people.
Right. Kim, I want to know, 'cause I love your makeovers. I was looking at your Instagram and the transformation that you do for people. And not even in their styling, but you can see it in their face, like a genuine happiness. What is your most memorable makeover?
Oh my gosh, I have so many, but yeah, well, I want to say I'd love that you picked that up because, when you look at research, it only takes 30 seconds to make a first impression. Now with, Bumble and Tinder, it's way quicker. And what happens in the brain, this isn't me talking, this is actually research. People make judgments and assumptions based on two things. Number one is the clothes that you wear, and number two, the attitude that you have, which is your emotions, what's right on your face, your body language. So that's profound, right? And it's what I always tell people, that you're marketing yourself in a way so that people get to know you. It's not changing who you are. And so when I think about, like, the most memorable, I know exactly what story I'm going to tell you. So it was a woman who she had not dated for 25 years. She had gotten a divorce. She fell in the rabbit hole of working all the time, taking care of the kids, and she got to the point where she was completely fed up. And she, she called me up and she did like a whole intensive with me, which is like a whole weekend together where we do shopping, coaching, wing girl stuff, therapy, and we even did a photo shoot, which I often do with people. Yeah. And so she's like, I need to do something, so I'm coming to LA. So she did. And the first thing that I noticed after I was doing my assessment is, gosh, how much she was giving her power away. Like, she kept apologizing as we were, talking about things, and really just low self-confidence. And then she proceeded to tell me right before we went shopping, because I had to start with the shopping piece, she had really low body confidence as well. And I wanted to help her love her, because that's where it all starts. When you love you, that's when men will too. I always say that. And so she stops me right before we enter the store, and she said, Kim, there's something I have to tell you. I said, what's that? She said, well, I haven't looked in the mirror. I haven't looked in the mirror for like probably 15 years. I actually cover all my mirrors in my home.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, it was profound. That was probably the most like extreme example that I've had in a really long time. But the ending of the story was beautiful. So she, I looked at her and I said, well, thank you for telling me. And I get that, but I want to show you something different. And so if you can just hold my hand and work with me, I think you'll see something different. And so we walk through the store, and she's crying. She's looking at the mannequins. She's like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't look like this. It went on and on. Now, going back to that first question you had I been a traditional therapist, I probably would have sat down with her and did some cognitive therapy on how she can change her body image. But that's not what she needed.
Right.
She needed to feel and see something different, just like my story. And so I held up a jacket. I said, put this jacket on. It was like a red leather jacket. Of course, red.
Red.
Yeah,
I love red.
Red.
Yeah.
Right. And then I held up these really like cute, sexy boots that had a little lift. Like, she never wore heels, but I didn't want to go crazy on her. I said, just slip these two things on over the clothes you have, and I want you to twirl around and give me like 10 seconds in the mirror. Just give me 10. Mm-hmm. And so she did it. And like what happened to me happened to her, and she's staring at herself, and the tears are starting to roll down her cheeks again. And this time it was tears of joy, though. And she said, Kim, I've never, ever seen myself so beautiful. And now we're like both crying.
We're crying. Jill and I are crying right now.
This beautiful moment. And I really literally created a monster from there, because after that, we were skipping through the store. She was changing with the door open. And there's a woman who has body shape. She's strutting her stuff through the department store. And lo and behold, we go and we do the photo shoot. She couldn't believe how gorgeous she looked in the photos. And she goes home. And we did phone coaching afterwards to keep everything going. But then she started dating up a storm. And then she landed this great guy. And I think they're still together today. And that was a couple of years ago.
Oh, my God. Kim, you do life-changing work. You are just a magician. You're fantastic. That story, literally, is so amazing.
So earlier in the show, we had talked about soulmates. So Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Love is in the air. Do you believe in soulmates?
I believe, I think it's first of all how you define soulmates. Did you define soulmates and like what that is? Because I feel like everyone has a different definition of that.
I think
okay, you could tell your definition. We sort of told our own, but you tell yours, and then we'll
tell you if it matches up.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, okay. Truth be told, when I was about your lady's age, I believed that we all had one soulmate, and that, it was that kind of person who, it was like the yin and the yang that we would complete each other. It was a little bit fairy tale-ish. But that was in the mindset of somebody who was looking to start a family and the whole picket fence and all of that. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But now that I'm an old lady and I've had all...
Silly.
Can I swear on here? Am I allowed to swear?
You can swear. You can totally swear.
Yeah, when the shit hit the fan, so to speak. That fairy tale and story completely changed. And so, fast forward to now, I believe that actually soulmates come in all shapes and sizes and forms, and I believe that you can actually have more than one soulmate. But, it depends on where you are in your journey. It depends on where you come from, what you're looking for, what your mission statement is when it comes to dating and finding a partner. I'm not a very black and white person. I don't believe in that, like hard definitions. So, I think what's even better to think about rather than this kind of woo-woo soulmate thing is more about what is it that you're truly looking for? Can you have clarity on what it is? Can you define what it is that you're looking for in a partner? Because I think that that's half the battle. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with a client and for instance, okay, and this is a good segue into the whole Valentine's and looking for love and soulmate. This woman came to me and she said, Kim, help me find my soulmate. She used those words. And I said, I am so happy to, but I think there's some work that we need to do in order to get there. And so we did all this work, and lo and behold, what really ended up happening is she fell in love with herself.
Yeah.
Right? And guess what happened? She found her quote-unquote soulmate. And at the end of the coaching, she said to me, Kim, this wasn't ever about the man, was it? I said, you got that, huh? Yeah, she's like, it's great that I found this guy and I'm so happy, but more importantly, I love that I love me. And because of that, I attracted this great person. So, that's why I always want to mention out there is that this is all about you and what you're looking for, and you will find that quote-unquote soulmate, whoever is right for you at the time.
Okay, so taking that one step yes, that was pretty much our definition as well.
Okay,
I agree with you. I back in the day thought of the whole fairy tale thing, but now that, we're getting older and we're doing a lot of our own self-work, I figure it's pretty much meeting someone that matches your vibration. And the same thing with friendships. Like Jill and I were talking about how we think we're soulmates, in friendship land. But okay, so I initially was going to ask you, what are the elements you need in attracting the right man? However, I want to change up my question because really it does come down to self-love. Really, the ultimate thing in attracting the person you want, in addition to you saying what you just said and having a clear vision, is loving yourself. However, what I do want to ask you is, how do we get out of our heads when we love ourselves, but we're dating? And right now I'm very much in my head in a particular situation. So how do we stop that and just continue the self-love?
That's a really good question. And I think so many of us are in our heads, right? Again, and I think, Meghan, we even talked about this before, it's what happens, especially as life happens, we tend to draw upon our experiences from the past, and we don't want to make the same mistake. So that's partly what's in our head is will this happen again? What can I do to protect myself? What can I say or do differently so that I don't get into this predicament again, right? And so as a very, very young person, and maybe for the first time you're in love, you may not think like that because it's almost like a blank slate. You don't have any experience to draw upon.
So
Fast
true.
forward as you move through life, you have that. Then another reason why you're getting in your head is because you're forecasting too much. You're focused too much on the future and the worries and the anxieties that happen, like what could happen next. And but if I want a kid, then I have to be married by age da-da-da. And you get seriously,
Exactly.
we and women are notorious for forecasting stories in their head all the time. And by the way, men do not think this way, just so you know, FYI. They think that's why they think we're crazy sometimes.
Yes.
But they're you women, you think so much.
We do.
But that's how we are, right?
Exactly.
And it's how we just like, it is what it is, right? But if we can really stay present, so instead of focusing on the past or worrying about the future, but really keep our 2 feet on the ground and worry about where we are right now, your anxiety, first of all, will go down. You will really embrace where you're at and work on what you're supposed to work on, and that is the connection. So if you're in like you're in a situation, and I don't know, Mike, if you want to share your situation or what, but like if you're with somebody and you're worried about some things, you're in your head, and then you forget about yourself. Like, I think part of maybe what you're asking is like, how do we do this without losing ourselves too?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, and so that's what I always say. So that's a mindset kind of switch, is to really stay present. I think the second way to really love yourself is embrace all that you are rather than all that you're not, or what a man can provide for you.
Wow.
And this is something that I see happen a lot, where you get kind of caught up in the storm of the partnership, and you almost start depending on the validation that a guy can give you, or whoever can give you, like you were mentioning, even friendships too. And looking at, like, is there reciprocity? You know, is it knowing all that you are and you got it going on, letting men earn you, letting people earn you, and not losing yourself. And I think the third thing I would say is really, like, create balance in your life. Don't get sucked into the vortex of just like always hanging out with your partner and then you forget who you are. So important to go out with your girlfriends. So important to be like, you know, in your hobbies, and to have some passions that are separate from your partner. And when you do that, stay present, you know, really focus on your strengths and have that balance. I think that can really help with that self-love, and you won't be so dependent on other people to create that for you.
That's wonderful. You really answered that perfectly.
Yeah, I love that. So you seem like you have carved out this amazing spot for yourself in the universe, and that is just in itself a huge accomplishment. But we always like to soft goal set, you know, with Meghan and I, and kind of talk about where we see ourselves going in the future. So do you have future plans for this business, and sort of, are there things that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Oh my God, there's so much. How much time do I have?
Manifest, girl. You speak it to the universe.
I know. And God, that's one of the things that I think is so hard about being an entrepreneur, is that it's like, you know, the ADD syndrome, where there's just like so much to do and focus on and want to do, especially here in LA. But you know, so for me, I have a bigger message. Meghan, we were talking about this.
Yes.
I want to reach more people, although I love doing my one-on-one work, and I do group coaching as well, and I have a retreat coming up in April, Love Makeover Boot Camp, which I'm super excited about. I love speaking as well. I want to just reach more people. I think that would be like my overall goal. And within that, you know, maybe going into the media more.
Can I share my vision, Kim? Can I share my vision? Can I share my vision I had with you?
Oh my God, yes. And that still like stays with me.
Girl, it was crazy. Okay, so I was telling Kim, like, you know me, Jill. I'm not like a psychic. Like, we're into the whole tarot things. But it was, for some reason, I felt like my energy when Kim and I mean, we haven't even met in person. We were just via Zoom, the video conference call. And we vibed so quickly. I had to stop her and I said, Kim, I don't have visions very often, but there's this intense feeling inside of me. I see you being on Good Morning America, or even Home and Family, the Hallmark morning show, doing makeovers for people. Like, you know how they do that. I see her doing segments like that. And I said that to her, and we both just got chills. So that's why I was eager to ask you this question, but that's what I see her doing. And she, you know, you can go off on that if you want to, but I hope that for you.
It was so weird when you said that too. And because I've been in talks with Good Morning America.
Wasn't that great? I said that before.
That I wanted to do and share. Because I had this vision, too, of doing, like, love makeovers. Because although people, like, you see makeovers all the time on those shows, but what I would love to focus on is, how do you make over yourself to find love? And that's a different and that's what's so fun for me, to see both men and women, gain their sexy confidence, if you will. So I thank you. I so appreciated that. And it put a fire under my butt to start contacting my media company.
No, I see it. I totally see it, Kim. Well, Kim, thank you. I know you're busy. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to speak with us. And where can our listeners go to find you?
Thanks for having me. I mean, the easiest is going to my website. It's seltzerstyle.com, and you can see everything on there. Of course, I have my own podcast show, too, called The Charisma Quotient. Yeah. We talked about that before, and you can listen to a lot of the stuff that we talked about today, but in a different format. And then all over social media, of course, Instagram at Kimmy Seltzer, Twitter at Seltzer Kimberly.
Yes, so listeners. No, thank you. And listeners, definitely check out our Instagram, because those makeovers, the before and after photos, are amazing. It will just brighten your day. Kim, well, I cannot wait till we can actually sit down and have a drink, and Jill can come too. We can all be girly together.
I would love it. Wait, Jill, are you blonde too?
I have highlights, but really, we are sugar and spice.
Yes, you will love her. I know you will. All right, Kim, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And listeners, we will see you and be back next week.
Bye.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.